You can be body positive all year, all you want, and pretend that you don't care about beauty or beauty standards. And filter a little bit everything that you want to see using social media algorithm. And then you are in your own bubble with your friends, your general content, and all of that, and you feel super happy. But then it's just take one summer at the beach to really humble you real quick and realize that you actually also have that capacity to compare and to feel really bad around other women, when you realize that your little bubble of reality during all year is not actually the full reality. And I think it's such a perfect time to make a real transformation about comparison, because generally we are taught to use self-love and positive thinking. And the thing is that when you are on the beach comparing to another woman, you damn well know that it's not enough to just tell yourself that every woman is beautiful and you should not compare and everything is okay, because you can feel inside of you that you're triggered and that it doesn't feel good, right? So instead of lying to yourself or using coping mechanisms, as sometimes even unconsciously, women don't go swimming, and they even think that, oh, I don't really like the beach, I don't really like to swim, but it's sometimes just a coping mechanism because they don't have any other help than positive thinking, and it doesn't help. So let me give you a real blueprint of what you can use and what might actually help you to get rid once and for all to this comparison or feeling of not being enough when you are anywhere actually in the world, anywhere in your life. But I feel like in the summer at the beach, seeing so many beautiful women and bodies and hair and shiny skin, it can really trigger and amplify what's really going on inside. And I want to give you real mindset shift and tools that you can use to make this the last summer that you'll ever compare to that beautiful, perfect girl on the beach. So please comment. I'm really always super interested to have your thoughts and opinions. And let's start. So, like I said, I'm using this beach time moment to really showcase what's happening. Of course, you can compare to another woman anytime during the year, but when you are, especially when you are a self aware woman, when you know a little bit about self development, mindset, and all of that, and you are aware of yourself and you know a little bit yourself, it's very easy to trick yourself thinking that, oh, you don't really compare. No, you're not a person that compares. No, you feel good about yourself. Yeah, you love yourself. Yeah, self-love queen. Yeah. Hashtag, I love myself. But sometimes we are using positive thinking and self-love to actually cover what's going on inside, because it's actually triggering, and if we were feeling it fully, we would be uncomfortable just um, thinking of the limiting belief. Sometimes the limiting belief is not just the only layer, there is a layer above it that we are ashamed of that limiting belief. And so we block that limiting belief, but we don't remove it. So the limiting belief is still there, the fear is still there, the conditioning is still there, but above it, like, we put a protection with positive thinking, with self-love, with personal development or whatever, and we try to not see the underneath layer because it's a little bit shitty. It's a little bit, we know it's not good to compare, we know it's not like something we feel proud about ourselves. No one is telling you, yeah, I compare to other women all the time and I love it. So we know it's not good, and sometimes instead of treating the problem, we actually cover it and we don't realize until it's too late, and there is this climax moment. You're on the beach and you are starting to see all those beautiful women and bodies and skin and glowing persons, and you're like, oh my god, I didn't expect to have so much trigger or to feel so much uncomfort. And I feel like the beach moment, but for you it might be another time that you felt really that, oh, I cannot escape myself anymore. But I feel like this beach moment, when you are sitting on the beach and you have nowhere to go but your own head because you're there, and it's really the moment that you cannot pretend as much anymore, and that everything starts to crumble a little bit. Because in daily life you can even pretend um fixing yourself so you don't see so much of your own maybe lack or perceived lack that you have. I mean, if you don't like your body or you feel that you would like to be skinnier but you're not, you can cover with some clothes, you can, adjust with a little belt, a little this and that. You can a little bit, put some makeup, some jewelry, and like move the attention somewhere else or something. But on the beach, you're like in your swimsuit, you're fully seen, and you cannot cover that much, you cannot make up that much. Of course, some women do still try to fix themselves and do some things, but in general, you are more vulnerable, you are more seen, and you are less able to fix and arrange as in daily life. And you cannot pretend also that during the year we like to pretend that all women are imperfect and social media is a lie and we should not compare because everything is a lie. And actually every woman has stretch mark, every woman has a belly fat, every woman who had kids, of course they don't have a perfect body. We swim inside of this because it feels reassuring. But when you're on the beach and you see even a mom with 3 kids having the most perfect body, and all the perfection, and some women don't have actually lower belly fat, and that's the thing. Some women don't have stretch marks. Some women, whatever you compare to, you will see the opposite of what you try to convince yourself. And in that moment, you can't pretend anymore that every woman is imperfect because you are seeing that it's not the case. You cannot pretend that every woman has stretch marks because you see that it's not the case. You cannot pretend that having 3 kids allow you to not care about your body anymore because you are seeing that it's not always the case. And then lastly, after all of that, you cannot even pretend that you don't care about beauty standards, that you don't care about having the perfect body, that this and that, that you don't compare, that you're not the kind of person who compares, because you're inside the feelings and you are not able to tell yourself that, oh, I don't care. You feel that you care. You feel that even if your mind can still tell you that this is superficial, that you should not care, that you should not compare, you do care and you do compare, and it does feel not good at all. And the thing is that this discomfort is actually the door, is actually the key. But most women cannot sit with that discomfort. This is the moment you brainwash yourself. This is the moment you try to use self-love, affirmation. You try to use maybe even lying to yourself or trying to cope and not see and close yourself. But you know what? This will make you embody the opposite of what you want to embody. So my first advice and the first shift that you need to make is super counterintuitive, but you need to accept the discomfort and you need to feel that discomfort. If you try to escape that feeling, this is the moment that you cover everything and make it stronger, harder, and most uncomfortable. And comfort is just an emotion. It cannot do anything to you. Take a moment, actually breathe in, breathe out, and feel uncomfortable. This is just a feeling. It's not touching you, it's not burning you, it's not impacting you, it's just a feeling. And generally, feelings are here to deliver a message, and until you hear the message, they keep delivering until you will hear it. So, do take a moment and breathe in, breathe out, feel the discomfort. Where is it in your body? Feel it, and especially try to understand the message. What is it saying? What is the fear behind it? What do you really fear? If you're not the best looking one on the beach, if your body is imperfect, if, I don't know, you don't have the best skin, if whatever it is, what happens? What is the worst thing that can happen? What are you telling yourself? And then the trick is to transform this fear into a desire, because actually behind every fear there is a bigger desire. And often we try to do self-development on the fear, to try to get rid of our fears, to try to, but this makes us in a state of mind of pushing and trying. And this is why personal development can sometimes feel so heavy, and oh, I'm always thinking about my past and my fears and all that's wrong about me, and it doesn't feel good. But there is a way to actually work on yourself in the best way possible, is instead of thinking about the fear, think about what is the desire behind that fear. Because when you think about your desires, it will give you a very good vibration and glow, and it will focus you on yourself and what you really want, what you can embody. So I will give you my example so that you can understand, but maybe for you it's something different. But for me, when I noticed myself comparing to other women, it was on the beach. And it was maybe 4 years ago. I'm not sure. I know that I was addicted to sugar, and I was um, having a lot of belly fat. I was not a very big person, but I had a lot of belly fat, and the body of a person who is addicted to sugar, you can see it. I mean, now that I went through it, you can see it. Like it's very, like, it's not toned, and even your face start to, I don't know, there is something like it's like the sugar is like possessing you a little bit, and it's visible. And I felt not good about myself and my body. I knew I deserved better. And when I saw other girls with a perfect body on the beach, I felt diminished, and I felt like thrown back to what I pushed away, because it's easy during the year to put a larger t-shirt and, not see your belly, and just eat whatever you want and think that, okay, I will take care of that later. But when you're on the beach, you are in your swimsuit, and everyone can see that you've been eating sugar all year. And although no one cares, it's true that no one cares, but you do care. You do care, and you do see that you're not in the shape that you deserve, and just you knowing and caring for me is enough to want to change. So I'm not going to tell you that no one cares, nobody cares, don't think about it, because you do care. If it's triggering you, if it's impacting you, if it makes you feel uncomfortable and bad, you do care, and it's enough, and it's not superficial, and we can do something about it. So in my example, the fear behind it was that if I'm not my best self, then I'm not perfect enough to be loved. you know this was the really behind it in my mind, that if I'm not perfect enough, I will not be able to be loved. But when you think like that, you don't know what to do, because you're like, yeah, but it's true that I'm not perfect, so it's true that I won't be loved. And you are turning in your own mind and not solving anything. So tell yourself, okay, what is really the desire? And the desire for me was to actually connect, and people would see me for who I am, despite my circumstances, which was being addicted to sugar at the time, and would love me for who I am. So my real desire was that I want to connect with people. I want to feel loved. I want to enjoy and feel the love and share the love with people around me. So you see that my desire is opening me. And the thing is that if I stay in my comparison and my triggers, I will close myself, because then I feel less than. I feel like I'm not good enough. I feel I'm not perfect enough. I'm feeling like I'm never going to be loved. And so, does this makes me want to enjoy my time at the beach? Does this makes me want to be uh, my best self, laughing, swimming, enjoying my day? No, of course not. It makes me want to close off, put a towel on me, just read a book and talk to no one. But if I do that, do I fulfill the embodiment that I need to reach my desire? Absolutely not, because my desire is to share the love and share, like, connection with people, so that they would see me, and that we would have a real connection and real love. So in that moment, I am myself, depriving myself from what I really want. So when I go back to the desire, I'm like, okay, if I want to actually be loved, be seen, what I need to do is just to connect with the people around me. And if I'm at the beach with my boyfriend, if I'm at the beach with my friends, if I'm at the beach with whoever, my choice is to embody what I really want. And instead of closing myself, comparing, feeling bad, trying to hide myself, not feeling enough, I can be like, okay, my desire is to connect with people. My desire is to be loved, to be seen, to be myself. Let's do that. Let's embody that. And then I go, I swim, I laugh, I talk, I joke, I'm myself fully. And in that moment, I'm getting what I really want for the first time, which is to be loved and seen for who I am, because I offered that to myself, to be myself. This is what will make me loved way more than having the perfect body, you know? But the perfection was just the conditioning from my mind that if you are perfect, you will be loved. But it doesn't work like that. If I'm myself, if I'm fully connecting with people, then I can be seen and then I can be loved for who I am, you know? So it's very important to understand the fear and the conditioning and the limiting beliefs. But once you have this, go as quickly possible back to your full, like, deepest desire behind it in your heart and start from there. Then the second shift is that you compare to other women because you feel less. And the feeling of being beautiful or feeling proud of yourself, feeling good in your own skin, feeling beautiful, comes from feeling more, feeling the most. I know it doesn't feel good when I say it like that. You're like, oh, why would I feel the best? Why would I feel the most? But it's not in that sense that you're better than everyone else or something like that. Just think about, I don't know, a sunset. You know, when you notice the beauty of a sunset, it's because you notice that this is the most beautiful sunset you've ever seen. And people don't say just, this is a nice sunset. You know, I always give that example. You don't say, oh, this is a nice sunset. You know, if you would say that, you would not even notice it. But if you notice it, you're like, wow, this is one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. Wow. And you take a moment under it and you really soak in the beauty, right? So it's exactly the same with us. When we feel the best about our physical appearance and our confidence and all of that is when we feel the most, not the most, the best, uh, uh, like of anyone else, even if for some women that's the case, but that's when it's like an extreme, and then it's not even making you feel good anymore, because you need to go to some extremes to feel the most. This is when you see some celebrities doing some crazy work on their face and you're like, why did she do this? It doesn't even look good. But she did this because she wants to be the most, and at her level the most is something completely almost horrible and deforming, you know? But you don't need to go to that extreme in your mind. You can understand that just the feeling of being the most can be also being your most, you know? Just feeling your most is what will make you feel the most beautiful, the most aligned, the most, you know, in your physical appearance. So what you need to understand is, okay, where do I feel less? I don't know. You see a woman and you, I don't know, for some reason you have some acne or you feel weird about your skin or something like that, and then you see a woman on the beach and her skin is just glowing, and you're like, oh my god, she's perfect, her skin is glowing, I wish I had a skin like that, why I cannot have that skin, it's so unfair, I will never have a skin like that, you know, all of that. In that moment you're feeling less because your skin, which is your point of reference, your point of comparison, and know that you always compare to what you think you're lacking also, you know. Maybe that woman doesn't have the best hair, maybe her hair I completely fucked from coloration or whatever, but you compare to her skin because you don't think about the hair because you don't have any problem with your hair, but you feel a lack in your skin, and so you will compare with her for her skin. So you're making her be more and you make you be less based on one category that you deem is important because you feel like you lack in that area. So in that moment, you need to make yourself more again. You are not less because of your skin, the same way this woman is not less because of her burnt hair, you know? Or she's not less because of her small ass or whatever it is. You need to think of you as what are you the most, you know? And if you cannot find something, create something, embody something in the moment. What can you be the most for today? Can you be the most happy person? Can you be the most joyful person? Can you be the most enjoyable person to be around today? Can you be the most confident today? Can you be the most, I don't know, the person who swims further and swims all day And can you be, I don't know, can you be the woman most regulated today? What can you be the most to go back to yourself, go back to who you are, go back to your own pocket of worth? And we all have that. So maybe your body is still not what you wish it would be. Maybe your skin is still not what you wish it would be. Maybe, I don't know, your hair, your feet, or whatever is not what you wish it should be if it was ideal or perfect. And you see another woman embodying that. But there is room to embody each and everything, and maybe this is the summer. You're not in the perfect body. Maybe next summer you will be, but for this summer, you can be the most yourself. You can be the most balanced. You can be the most joyful. You can be the most of you. And this will make you switch, and this will make you refocus on you. What can you embody? What can you play being the most at? Because this is what will bring you the feeling of being aligned, beautiful, and all of that. Now, three, stop treating beauty as rare. When we think we like beauty, when we are not happy about our circumstances, our weight, our skin, our face, our appearance, we treat beauty as rare. And what happens is that if you treat beauty as rare, you will have a mental filter who will make you confirm in your reality that beauty is rare. And so what will happen is that you will see some women and you will always try to find the missing thing. This is what happens when someone says, "Oh, this woman is so beautiful," and you're like, yeah, you know why are you like this? Because you treat beauty as rare. So if there is the tiniest thing that doesn't go right with that woman, I don't know, she's perfect but she has like shitty hair, or she's perfect but her eyebrow is not straight, or she's perfect but her nose is a bit, you're like, yeah, but yeah, but you know it makes you feel better. It makes you feel reassured to think that beauty is rare, because then you don't have to give it to every other woman, and then you don't have to compare to every other woman. But what this creates is that when there is one woman that enters all targets that you have in your mind, and there is nothing in her to criticize, then what there is left to criticize is yourself. And when you make beauty rare because you don't want to give it freely to any woman because it makes you feel threatened deep down, then it means that when you meet a really beautiful woman, it makes her so much more than what she actually is, which is just a beautiful woman, you know. But in your mind, she's like, wow, beauty is rare, so this is really a woman that has something that nobody has. And now she's so much more in your mind that makes you so much less. And we go back to the second point. So when you treat beauty as rare, you think you're doing something good for yourself, but you're not. Treat beauty as common. Practice seeing other women, and instead of saying, yeah, she's good, but try to say just, oh, she's beautiful because her hair is shining. Oh, she's beautiful because her lips are really nice. Not that, but I'm sure she made some procedure. I'm sure she had some fillers. I'm sure that, yeah, if she was not having so much makeup, she would not be so good. All the things that we can tell ourselves to feel better, it's not helping you. Just practice to see beauty everywhere, and the more common you make it, the more it will be normal when you see a beautiful woman that, yeah, like every woman is beautiful, so yeah, it's a beautiful woman, like it's a beautiful flower, but doesn't make this flower more specific than another, and doesn't make it like have something so extreme, and beauty is not that deep. Honestly, I know there are a lot of beautiful women on YouTube trying to make you feel like this is the goal, and once you will be beautiful, you will have everything that you want, and there is the beauty privilege, and there is this. And what is beauty privilege? I will tell you what is beauty privilege, because even though I'm not entering any maybe beauty standards, I'm beautiful enough to have experienced beauty privilege. And beauty privilege is, yes, sometimes you will get some gifts because you're a bit beautiful. Sometimes you will get a job because, yeah, you were qualified, but a lot of them were qualified and you were maybe the best looking qualified person, and then you will get the job. That's it. I mean, it's not something that will revolutionize your life, you know? Beauty is not that deep, and beauty is very common. And it's a good thing. You can see it everywhere and you can see it in yourself, even if you're not perfect. And when you give that grace to other women, you give that grace to yourself too. So practice looking at other women and seeing beauty. See beauty everywhere. Make it as common as possible. And you'll see that with a very little time doing that, not only you will start seeing it in yourself, but you will also start viewing it as just one thing that is there, not something that is a differentiator and makes someone better than you or less than you. And my last and fourth shift and tips to help you with comparison is to change. Like, if you really follow all this mindset shift but you are still in the process, it takes time to rewire your brain, and you're sitting at the beach or anywhere at a cafe and you see this beautiful perfect woman and you start comparing, just do this very simple trick that you can do in 1 second without thinking, without self-development, without anything. Just change your sentence for she with we. you know you see a woman and you're like, she's so perfect, why can I be so perfect? Okay, change this sentence. First, she's not perfect, she's just beautiful. We saw before that she's not more than you because she's perfect, and because she's beautiful, and beauty is just very common. So she's not perfect because she's beautiful, she is just beautiful. Go back from one layer first and foremost. But you're like, she's beautiful, yeah, this is true, this is a beautiful woman. Yes, she's beautiful, like so many other women. So transform it as a we as women, we are so divine. Include yourself, include an identity that you already have. And I know being a woman is an identity that you already have, but you can use any identity that you already recognize in yourself. Maybe it's the identity of being a mom. Maybe it's the identity of being a fit girl or fitness girl or whatever. Use that identity to include you in what you're thinking, because what you're thinking is actually the biggest compliment. When you think a woman is so perfect, so beautiful, so this, so that, so shiny, it's a very big compliment. You want to include yourself into that. So if you are thinking she's so beautiful, include yourself. If you're a mom and you look at another mom and you're like, oh, she's so beautiful, how she has 3 4 kids, she's so beautiful. Include yourself. It's incredible what woman body can be. It's incredible that we as moms can have such a divine body that create life and then bounce back to something even better. Or include yourself, transform the she that you have in your mind, because in your mind you're making it her versus you. But there is nothing like this if your brain doesn't have a filter to make it her versus you. It can be just we in general, we as women, we as mom, we as self-aware woman, we as, I don't know, mixed race women, we as X, Y, and Z. Yeah, we are so beautiful. We are so strong. We are so divine. We are so well designed and created. We are so attractive. We, as women. Honestly, this simple shift, even if all the rest doesn't work or you don't have time to process everything, just remember this last thing. Transform the she for a we, and you will automatically feel inside of you that, wow, yeah, we are actually super strong. We are actually super beautiful you know I hope it helped, and I hope you will write under my video, sitting at the beach, being fully embodying your best self, fully confident, and realizing that, whoa, this might be the last summer that I ever compared to another woman. Babe, you got this. See you in the next one.